They say size doesn't matter, and this little vintage store might actually prove it. This is hands down the tiniest vintage store that I've ever been to. But somehow I found better items for less than I usually pay at much bigger stores, including something that I've been wanting to collect for quite a while. And I definitely wasn't expecting to find it here. Let's go and see what we can find. Welcome to the House of Bourbon. What started as a quick coffee break after thrifting unexpectedly led me to a vintage shop I didn't even know existed. After I was done filming at one of my favorite charity thrift stores, my mom and I sat down in their little coffee corner. We started chatting with a really lovely couple who, as it turned out, lives very close to us. They were huge thrifters themselves and also sold a lot of the things they found. They were curious about my camera, so we started talking about my YouTube channel and my vintage booth. And then they told me something that immediately caught my attention. They also sold their finds at a vintage store in a small village about 15 minutes from where I live. I had never even heard of this place. So, we started sharing some of our favorite thrift spots, and she assured me that I would absolutely love this little vintage shop. We exchanged phone numbers because they were also looking to let go a big part of their vintage collection. So, who knows, maybe I'll be buying some of their treasures in the near future. But when they left, my mom and I decided to look up the store right away. And guess what? It was still open for another hour. So obviously, we got back in the car and drove straight to the little village of Halsteren. Now from the outside, the store looked just like a regular house. But once we walked around to the back, we discovered a living room absolutely packed with vintage treasures, antiques and all kinds of little knickknacks. My vintage loving heart practically skipped a beat. Brass, crystal, porcelain. There were so many beautiful things to look at, and I immediately started spotting pieces I could picture in a vintage-inspired home. Now, at first, I hadn't even brought my camera inside, but after I had already put a few things at the cash register, I asked if I could film the little shop for my YouTube channel, and thankfully, they said yes. So, I ran back to the car, grabbed my GoPro and went back inside to show you this tiny but mighty vintage shop. And trust me, you'll want to stay until the end to see everything I ended up bringing home in my haul. As you can probably tell, I was completely overwhelmed by all the beautiful things in this shop. I honestly didn't know where to look first. Of course, this Villeroy Boch vase immediately caught my eye. I seem to have developed a sixth sense for V&B. The vase was beautiful quality, but unfortunately it was a little too modern for my booth and not really the right color for my own home, so I left this one behind. Now recently one of you commented that I should keep an eye out for paperweights. Well, I always do. And this one immediately caught my eye. I don't think it's particularly old, but it's beautifully made. The clear glass with a little bit of blue inside is just gorgeous. Now these look like Villeroy Boch wall plates, and I believe they're from the Children of the World collection, which was made for UNICEF. And of course, my eyes immediately went to the glass and crystal pitchers. This one is Wedgwood, but unfortunately it had a chip on the rim, so I had to leave this one behind. This large crystal pitcher had a beautiful etched butterfly design and a mark on the bottom. It looked like it may have been specially made for a store or a company in the neighboring city of Bergen-op-Zoom. And while editing this video, I found myself thinking about Dolly Parton. For a couple of days now, my heart has felt heavy thinking about losing such a kind and wonderful person, a true icon. When I was a little boy, I used to borrow my parents' 1995 Dolly Parton, her greatest hit CD, and play it over and over again. I loved Jolene, Here You Come Again, and one of my absolute favorites, I Really Got a Feeling. It's funny how something as simple as a butterfly on a vintage picture can suddenly bring back such a specific memory. Back to vintage hunting. These little monks are by Goebel. They say West Germany on the bottom, which gives us a pretty good clue about their age. Apparently, they are quite collectible, and I don't come across them often here in the Netherlands. I put the paperweight on my pile, and right behind me I spotted this beautiful vintage brass watering can. I do sell these in my booth, and I love the simple design. But be honest with me, this looks so much better in your house than a plastic one, right? This cabinet was a little darker, so bear with me here. But there were some beautiful silver plated and brass pieces inside. And these Art Deco inspired marble picture frames really caught my eye. I'm actually regretting not buying these. I've never had anything like this in my booth, and now I keep thinking about them. So tell me, should I go back for these too? And then I spotted this. A Petrus Regout Imari vase for only 10 euros. Now, Petrus Regout was a Dutch industrialist who founded one of the first large-scale pottery factories in Maastricht in 1836. His factory eventually became known as the Sphinx, and their ceramics were exported all over the world. Now, one of the things I especially love about Regout is the variety of designs they produced. They took inspiration from all kinds of styles, including Chinese and Japanese porcelain. And if you know a little bit about vintage ceramics, you might recognize this particular style as Imari. Now, traditional Japanese Imari porcelain is known for its rich red, deep blue, and gold decoration, often featuring flowers, birds, and intricate patterns. Now, Imari became hugely popular in Europe, which is why you find so many European manufacturers creating their own versions of the style. And then something even better happened. Without me even asking, let me tell you that, they gave me 50% off. So I paid just €5 for a piece that I really love. These Chinese bowls were absolutely beautiful, and I was seriously debating whether to take them home, but I think I would have bought them if they had been 4 instead of just 2. I really love them though. This was also a very pretty Delft-inspired vase, but unfortunately not the real thing. I always love looking at plates, but there wasn't really anything here that I thought would work for my booth. And then I spotted something I've actually been wanting to collect for a while. These are Villeroy Boch cups and saucers in the French garden pattern. And these are actually the very first pieces of a new collection I've decided to start building. I want to collect French garden specifically for spring and summer, because there's something about this pattern that instantly takes me back to summers in my grandparents' garden in France. Now my mom thinks these are for reselling. I can already hear her saying, "You don't have enough room for another collection." And you know what? She is right. But does that stop me? Nope. Okay, I have absolutely no idea how to pronounce this name. René Rubicek? Now these look like glasses, but apparently they are actually vases by the Czech designer René Rubicek. I looked them up when I got home and I found them online for almost €300 each. I think I'm going back for these because I regret not getting them. Now, some people might find this Luminarc Aram Kala Lily plate a little garish, but I love this. Now don't come for me in the comments. Am I the only one? Tell me, please, be nice. I still added it to my pile though. Now I love blue and white, but I don't actually have much of it in my own home. And for some reason, it barely sells in my booth. I honestly don't understand it. I mean, we're the home of Delft Blue. How can we not like blue and white? Now this handmade vase was absolutely gorgeous. I could picture it on a spring or a summer table with fresh flowers or maybe some beautiful cherry blossom branches. But at 26 euros, I felt my margin would be a little too small. I'd probably need to sell it for at least 50 euros to make it worth the investment and the time involved. But would someone actually pay 50 euros for it? Now, I wasn't sure, so unfortunately, I left it behind. And, of course, I spotted even more Villeroy Boch. But again, a little too modern for my booth and not really my favorite color for my own home. Now they also had a very small selection of vintage linens, but unfortunately nothing really in my style. Now I do love an oval picture frame, but my mom wasn't convinced by the quality of this one. So this one also stayed behind. Now for some reason, cutlery sells really well in my booth. Almost every set of knives, forks or espresso spoons I've had has sold pretty quickly. So, safe to say, I always keep an eye out for interesting designs at low prices. If I can sell a nice set for under 10 euros, they tend to move really quickly. This little hand-painted coffee bean grinder was so cute. And as a huge coffee lover, it definitely caught my eye. Now I've been drinking Nespresso for years, but lately I'm just not enjoying it quite as much. So when I visited my friend and fellow YouTuber Lady Marybeth in Germany a couple of weeks ago, she made me a hand-poured filter coffee. And oh my goodness, it was good. So I guess I'll be grinding my own beans and serving myself some hand-poured filter coffee. I actually have a beautiful Villeroy Boch Manoir coffee pot that I could use for that. Now, this grinder, however, would probably be more of a display piece for me though. Cleaning these properly can be quite difficult, so I think I'll buy a new one if I decide to start grinding my own coffee. Now I also have a soft spot for little pillboxes, and I love the ones I found here. This little egg was definitely my favorite. I've never seen anything quite like it. Now, Dutch vintage shops and markets always seem to have tons of old tins. I love looking at them, but I rarely buy them anymore. They just don't sell for me. And now, one last look around. Should I take this little bird painting? At $22.50, I thought it was a little too expensive for reselling. I don't think that I could get much more than 35 euros for it. But now that I know I'm going back for those Czech vases, maybe I'll take another look at this one too. Now, this was a tiny but mighty thrift store, and it was such a surprise because I didn't even know this store, and it was 15 minutes from my house. So I told you the story about the people that we met, and they were the nicest people. They told me they also sold vintage on markets and in a little store. And apparently it was only 15 minutes from where we were at the time and about 15 minutes from my house. So my mom and I, we said, you know what? We have one more hour. Let's just go and explore that little store. So initially, I didn't even take my GoPro with me. It was still in the car. And I was finding, things left and right within 3 minutes walking into that store. And I was like, you know what? I will ask if I can film here. I asked, the lady said, yes, of course, but please don't have me in your video. So that's why I blurred her, of course. I respect that. But yeah, it was such a fun little shop to take you along with me and such a surprise. Let's just start with a haul. Now, this is a very nice item. I love this. This is Petrus Regout. It's a Dutch brand. It's an Imari style design. So they did a lot of different designs. This is Imari style. Absolutely love it. It has the mark on the back, on the bottom. And yeah, I really, really love it. Now, these are often overpriced because it says Petrus Regout. And yes, Petrus Regout can be worth something, but usually they are overpriced. This vase was 10 euros and I didn't ask for a discount, but I got it for 5 euros because they had it in the store for a little while. So the lady said, you know what, I'm going to give you that one for 5 euros. And I was like, thank you so much. Now, I get a lot of comments about asking for discounts on markets. And let me just give a little disclaimer because I'm from the Netherlands and I resell primarily in the Netherlands at the moment because there are some things in the works which I cannot tell you too much about yet. But stay tuned. Now, the reselling prices in the Netherlands are much, much lower than in the United States or in Canada or even Australia. And apparently, those are the places where a lot of my viewers are, which I'm very happy with. But that means that if I want to resell it, I cannot ask the prices that they ask on Etsy or on replacements.com. Because, well, I can ask them, I will never get that amount here, especially not in my booth. That's why I always ask for a little discount. And you know what? I buy literally hundreds of items a year. And if I can save, you know, €1 here, €2 there, €3 there, it adds up. And I have a lot of cost because, you know, I have my video equipment, of course, my trips, because I love to go to Germany, to France, to Denmark, to Belgium, you know, everything but Belgium and the Netherlands. I have to have like an hotel or an Airbnb. So, you know, it costs a lot of money. And I want to be able to do this professionally. So I have to be very careful with my margins. Now, sometimes I pay up, I know that, but sometimes I try to get a discount. But I'm always respectful. If they don't want to give me a discount, if I want to have it, I will buy it. If it's too much, I won't buy it. I'm very respectful about that because it's their right to give me a discount or to refuse me a discount. So I just want to make that clear that, you know, even though I ask for a discount, I always am respectful to the sellers. I'm a seller myself. Okay, this might be one of my favorites. I know some people will call it garish, I think in English. I really like it. I can't help myself. I mean, please don't shoot me in the comments, but I absolutely love this. It's from Luminarc. Now that's a French brand. I didn't know this was Luminarc. I know Luminarc very well from the glasses because I sell a lot of Luminarc glasses, but this I didn't know. Now, it's a wonderful serving tray. You know, you can use it in the summer. You can also use it in the winter. You know, how beautiful is this to have it on your table with maybe your Christmas display? You know, white, the yellow, and the green will go perfectly with red. So if you, for example, have the green and red from your Christmas tree or on your table, use this. It's beautiful. And I absolutely love this. I paid 12 euros for it. A little bit more than I would love to pay for an item like this, but I think that I can triple my money because I see them online for like 40 to 45 euros. So I still got a deal. I'm not complaining. So very happy with that. Now, if you hear some snoring in the background, I don't know if my mic maybe, you know, filters it, but I have a little black kitty sleeping here. She just ate and she's like, you know what? I want to be next to you and I will just sleep. And I don't care that you're shooting a video for YouTube. So she is okay. Then a very nice item. I love this. I mean, it's simple. It's just like a little, I don't know, is it mid-century? I think it might be 70s or maybe even 80s. A brass watering can. I like this. I like this. I can't help myself. I mean, you can polish it. You can leave it as is. I won't do anything to it. I mean, that's something for the one who buys it. I love this. It's so simple yet beautiful. And, you know, this is much nicer than a plastic watering can. Okay, now this one. This, I picked up the second that I saw it. This is a paperweight and beautifully made. Now you see the clear cut here. I mean, it's just bzzzt. Hoppy. You can see the clear cut here. And this blue is it's like hollow, so you can see that I put my finger in it. This might be weird. I'm so sorry. It's just to show you that you can go into it. So it's very nice. It has, the blue inside, and I love the blue. Now, paperweights, whenever I have them in my booth, they always sell. I think recently I bought 4 or 5 of them. They all sold. I kept some nice ones for myself. Now, these are very nice pill boxes. I absolutely love these. And I've never seen this one with an egg, and you put the egg on top. I mean, maybe it's very common. I've never seen it. And I really like this. So I paid €3 for this. And well, yeah, €3, perfectly fine. I absolutely love this. Very happy with that one. And as you saw, there were multiple pill boxes. Now, I didn't want to buy them all because, I liked them all, almost all of them, but I didn't want to buy them all because if I have too much of a certain item, it's like I bought someone's collection, and I don't want to have that look and feel in my booth. But this one is also very nice. It's with little birds and flowers. It's so gorgeous. It's so gorgeous. I absolutely love this. I paid €2.25. So very happy with that. And then the last pill box, this wooden lacquered box with the flower design for also €3. So very nice, very simple, but you can use those pill boxes. We call them pill boxes. Now, I buy vintage jewelry for my mom all the time. So rings, necklaces, bracelets, whatever I can find. How nice would these be, as a gift box for your ring, for your for a necklace, or whatever piece of jewelry you have, like a little brooch. I love this, and tie it with a ribbon, and you have a beautiful gift. Now, these I love. Made in Italy. It says so on the back. A Florentine tray. Now, are these very quick sellers? No. I had a beautiful one just like this in red instead of green, and somebody dropped it and it broke. So yeah, wasn't able to sell that one anymore. But very happy that I found this little one. I found another at the TT recently. Perhaps you saw the video. Very happy with those. And if they don't sell, I can also use them as a display in my store. And I love, love, love these, as a little serving tray. Think about it. When you're having champagne New Year's Eve and you will serve it on a platter like this, or you have some friends over and you have some glasses of wine, put it here. You can use them every day or for special occasions, whatever you want. Now, these I love. I love this so much. And you might think that I'm crazy, but I don't care. I really, really love this. Now, this is Villeroy Boch in the French garden pattern. And it's a wonderful, wonderful pattern. I love this because, it reminds me of my summers in France. Now, my grandparents, they are Italian, but they moved to France. And that's where my mom was born. I loved going there as a kid. And I spent literally every vacation, summer, fall, spring, Christmas, whatever. I was in France every single vacation. And these bring back so many memories that, I cherish deeply because my grandfather is not here anymore. So I will never, ever be able to make new memories with them in that way. And it might seem silly, and maybe some might think it's materialistic, but the feeling that this pattern gives me is just a very happy memory from years ago. And that feeling alone is worth it to me to start collecting this beautiful set. Now, you might know that I already have the manoir pattern from V&B, Villeroy Boch, and this is the manoir pattern, but it's the blank. The manoir is the blank. and the design is French garden. So it goes perfectly with my manoir. And I'm very happy with this. And this will be the start of a new collection. And you know, that collection might be expanding sooner than you think. I don't know. You have to stay tuned. Okay, so then I have some items that you haven't seen yet. Now let's start with this beautiful Nachtmann clock. Now Nachtmann is a very, very high-end and very nice crystal brand. And I love these kind of clocks. Now I recently got a beautiful, beautiful crystal Waterford clock, which, I mean, this little clock is nothing compared to that Waterford clock. But this is so nice and I love these. So for €7.50, I just had to have it. It has the acid etching on the bottom. It's amazing. I absolutely love it. And you know, for that price, I'm very happy to take it. Now, the only thing that I have to figure out is how in name am I getting that clock out of the... I don't want to scratch it, of course, so I'm not using a knife or anything, but with my nails, I'm not getting out of it. So if you have a good tip on how to get this little clock out so that I can change the battery and make it, you know, working again, please say that in the comments. Now, these little espresso spoons, they always sell for me. I don't know why it is, but cutlery, everything cutlery sells. I only buy sets, so I don't buy, you know, loose ones. And most of the time my sets are, you know, 5 or 6, because unfortunately, you know, with vintage items, you don't always find sets of 6. I absolutely love these and I paid €3 for them, which is okay, a little bit more. They're 5 pieces, a little bit more than I would like to pay. But I think that I will sell these for like €7 or €8 for the set. So it's not like a big money maker, but you have to have the little items in the store because smalls pay the rent. Now, another thing that I picked up were these beautiful picture frames. Now, picture frames, they always sell. I have been in Denmark and I picked up a lot of vintage Danish picture frames. They sold right away. I think in a month, I sold every piece of them, and I think I had 13 pieces. So I made a very nice profit on them. I tried to buy them as, you know, lowest price as possible. And these I paid €2 or €3. So that's perfect. That's enough. I don't want to pay more because, you know, then that's my profit margin. So I have to be careful with that. But I really, really love these. Now I paid €2 or €3, and these I think I will sell for close to €15, and they will sell for €15. I love, love, love them. So I always buy them if I find nice pieces. Now, my second to last item is this made in England. What is it? Royal Worcester. Worcester, I always say Worcester, but it's not. I know, it's Royal Worcester. Oven to tableware. I like this. I mean, call me crazy, but I like this. It has the mark on the back. You can put it in the oven. I don't think that I will put it in the oven. I mean, it's so nice. What I would do is put like a plate hanger here. A big one because it's quite heavy, a big plate hanger, and I think that I would hang it in my kitchen because I think it's too beautiful. Now, of course, it has to be cleaned. You know, it amazes me and it's, well, can I say infuriates me? No, I won't say it infuriates me. It shows a lack of eye for detail. If you buy pieces and you put them in your store and they still have the old stickers with the price that you paid on it, or that they are dirty. I always clean my items because, you know, I want my items to shine because I like to buy clean items myself when it's for myself. This one, I think I paid €3. She took off the sticker, but I paid €3. So for a beautiful piece, yes, I will do that. Now, last but not least, this beautiful, pretty heavy metal chocolate mold. Look at this. I love this. And, you know, unfortunately, I really don't eat a lot of chocolate because I'm on a keto diet. So I don't know if I'm going to keep this, but if I find chocolate without sugar, I can make my own little, you know, bonbons with the nice details. So what do we have? We have like a face. I don't know. Is it like a sun? Like a face? Like a golf ball, a lot of ball? I don't know. I don't know what it is, but I like the designs. 5 designs for 5 different flavors. Who says no to that? So all in all, this was a very, very nice thrift haul. It was so unexpected. Now the lady from the store, she told me that they're going to close 1 week in September and they will reopen after that and the store will be completely new. So everything that you saw in the video will be taken out apparently and will be replaced with new, fresh, vintage items. Now, I said, what date are you reopening? She will reopen on a Thursday, which is a working day for me because I still have a regular full-time job. But Friday is my day off. So I will go the second day that they are open and I'm hoping that I will find a lot of great items. Now, if I'm allowed to film again, I will bring my GoPro. If I'm allowed to film again, I will for sure film and take you along and you will see that pretty soon. Now, if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe to my channel. I'm a pretty new channel and I appreciate every like, every comment and every subscription. You are helping me tremendously growing this channel and doing something that I've been wanting for such a long time, and I'm so happy that I've started. So there are a lot of videos coming up. I already filmed them because I was a week in Germany and France recently. So a lot of videos are coming up and there might be some interesting surprises. But I'm not saying anymore. Just stay tuned and I see you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. And I see you next time here on House of Berman.